Well, g'day fishers, Brent from Tackle World Port Stephens with our weekly fishing report. So, what can I report this week? Well, we've had plenty of really good weather. It was terrible, that east coast low early in the week, but this weekend looks absolutely gorgeous. I think it's going to be a little bit of light southerly, a little bit of rain, but light winds, you can go fishing, just put a raincoat on and away you go. But make the most of it because it looks pretty good this weekend. As far as the fishing's concerned, report's a little bit slim on the ground, as you can imagine. I don't think there would have been too many people venturing out during the week. But what I have heard is that there were plenty of fish around just before that blow. Inside the bay, I think after this swell, definitely the Brim. There definitely will be on the chew this weekend. It's that time of year where they do congregate. I know I've been speaking to Craig. He's been getting some absolute crackers on the soft plastics. Like I said last week, up around the back of Soldiers Point there, around those rock walls, towards Fane Cove, North Arm Cove there in particular, the entrance there, either side, right or left there. There's some good reef structure there that the Brim like to hold up this time of year. And also the shortcut wall over at Tea Gardens there fishes pretty well too. So starting to school up in good numbers and some really good ones there as well. So the Brim will definitely fire up. The two breakwalls being the Anchorage and Nelson Bay. I think it might be a little bit early, but it's definitely worth a shot. I think you'll catch a few there, especially on that incoming tide. Will get better as the weekend goes on. Later in the afternoon of that incoming tide or that full tide, that's for sure. The Ludrick, well, they've started to happen. I wouldn't say they're in big numbers, but definitely there are Ludrick on both breakwalls. Like I said, Nelson Bay breakwall and the Anchorage, there's a few starting to linger around Shoal Bay Wharf as well. So definitely worth a shot on the Ludrick at the moment. There were squid in Shoal Bay, but that water stirred up during the week with that big swell. So it's only going to make, I think, a few days before the squid will actually turn back up into Shoal Bay, but definitely worth a shot if you're keen on catching a few squid because they were there and they were there in good numbers. So haven't seen that for a long time. I think all that fresh water we had a couple of years ago definitely changed things, but they've started to rebound now. So if you're keen on that, give it a couple of days, maybe Sunday, and the squid might return into Shoal Bay there. Maybe use a brighter jig just to get through that slightly dirtier water at the moment. A few mulloway around still. A lot of smaller mulloway caught last weekend in the shallower water. So I know a couple of boys that were sort of fishing around the islands there at the back of Soldiers Point, getting some smaller ones in the shallow, so some little soapies. So that's a good sign, that's for sure. So worth a shot there. So that's about in the estuary this week. We'll get more reports, I think, over the weekend. Haven't heard of any longtails this week, but no one's been out there to have a look. So if you get out there and be the first, you'll probably find a couple of longtails inside the bay. Moving on to the beach as well. The beaches have been a write-off. I've been driving around having a look. Fingal at the south side there. In Kitty's Corners, plenty of weed, redweed and kelp and things in there. So I think if you want to fish Fingal, you're going to have to venture up towards the spit there to find some cleaner, better water. But I think you'll find a few Brim around as well. Likewise with Samurai, 1 mile. As far as Barubi's concerned, it was fishing good up until we got that bigger swell. So it's just going to be a matter of having a look and having an actual go off the beaches at the moment. As for the rocks though, if you're keen on fishing the rocks this weekend, it'd be definitely worth a snapper fish off the rocks. We're back off that full moon now, and after that big swell, the snapper will definitely be on the chew in the shallows. Be definitely worth a rock session this weekend. Early morning, you've got that change of tide. I think on Saturday it's about 9 o'clock. So if you get there early, fish that sunrise and lead down to that tide, I think you'll do pretty well on the snapper. Same with the drummer and the Brim. I think it'll be worth a shot for drummer now. That stirred up water will be a bit cooler. I think the drummer will come on the chew, and those travelling Brim will definitely be off the rocks. So I know that because last Friday afternoon when I did the fishing report, I actually went down and got 3 or 4 nice ones up around 35 centimetres just off Boulder Bay there. So definitely worth a shot in the washes this weekend. And again, as far as the longtails are concerned, I think they will be there off Tomaree. You just have to go and have a crack and give it a go yourself. That water clears pretty quickly off Tomaree, so the bait will still be there. Tuna won't be too far away, just be a matter of giving it a go, that's for sure. Now, as far as offshore fishing this weekend, talking about snapper, I'd definitely be going to throw some plastics or some baits around in the shallows this weekend. It'll definitely be worth a snapper fish. I think they'll definitely be in the shallows this weekend. When that sun gets up, just move out of that deeper water as always and you'll find them out there. The deeper reefs this time of year always hold a few trags, so definitely worth a shot. The back of the 21 there, up to the Big Gibber. The Big Gibber hasn't been fished for a week, so it'd be worth running up to the Big Gibber and giving that a crack. And then down to the south there, Uralla wide, Boulder Bay wide, be worth a shot for trag and a few dewies as well. So worth a go. As far as the fat is concerned, well, before our big blow, there were dolphin fish out there, but who knows what's happening with that water temp out there. It could have cooled. It would just be worth running out there. But I did speak to a couple of boys that fished out wide on the bottom, actually, with the electrics. Caught a few nice bark cod last week and before that blow. So definitely worth a shot getting out there. The weather looks good this weekend. Make the most of it because we don't get many days like this leading into winter. So get out there and get amongst it.